Shake here to review yet another gel blaster. Now, this one is going to feature me comparing this blaster to both the SKD that I reviewed some time ago, as well as the Unlock X V2 that I literally just finished recording the video to. And this will be released after the Unlock X video. So please check out both the SKD blaster and the Unlock X video. Especially if you would be willing to pause this and go check out those videos first. And you'll see a lot of background as to why my review for this blaster is the way it is. Now, all that said, let's check out the Caissa toy Glock replica. Now, I'm just going to refer to it as a gel blaster from here on out because I'm not going to repetitively say a firearm term. And they don't even call it the Glock themselves, even though that's what it's on their website. But when you get the box, you see what it says. I'm not going to say that on my video either, but you see what it says. There you go. It does say that. That's not a GLOCK. That's definitely what you think you see is what you see. Now, what you get with the blaster is if you were to order this up, don't. Yeah, spoiler. Sorry, Caissa toy. We're going to get to it. I'll try to keep it short. But you get the blaster with a attachable sight. It does have a Picatinny rail on both the top and the bottom. And these are true Picatinny rails. And I think this sight is the best thing about the whole entire package. It is actually a functional red dot with a switch on the back. And it does glow red instead of green. Some do a green dot. This is a red. And you do have a attachable flashlight and a faux silencer or sound suppressor. Now, you get both a drum magazine as well as a extended length mag. However, there is no reason to ever run this magazine. It has the same feed issues as the drum, only a lot less capacity. And capacity is something you absolutely have to have with this. You do also get some surprisingly decent eye protection. I was surprised by this. And a lot of the ammunition for the gel blaster. So, plenty of ammo, decent eye protection, and accessories. Remove this immediately. Just don't. It's all black, and it only makes it look more realistic. It does have an orange tip when you remove this, so why, unless you were going to paint this orange, just take this, toss it aside. Now, I'm actually going to remove the light and the sight. Because the only reason you would ever run the straight mag is if you were going to holster this, but I think you could holster it even with the drum. It's not very intrusive. The profile is small enough that you could, holster it like that. Be a little bulky, but it could be done. Especially if you did like a back holster. So this thing would have to be, if you were going to run it, it would have to be your secondary. Because even in backyard battles, they claim 100 feet per second. And I might have overlooked it, but I didn't see where they claim a rate of fire. However, my most recent test, it was with the Unlock X, which claims both on the V2 and the forward one, they claim 11 shots per second. This well exceeds that. Like, it's going to be at least 15 to 20. I would say at least 15, if not up to 20. Let me rephrase it to be a little more exact. But it's at least 15 shots a second. So you need capacity. So you really have to run it with the drum. The only issue with that is that I did have a number of feed issues and hiccups. Especially like if you've just reloaded it, you actually have to take this thing, shake it upside down while firing it, and trying to get that thing to cycle and feed. And it can take up to about 20-30 seconds to get it to start to reliably feed, and that's using their ammo. And I tested it with others, because you put a bin of a few thousand shots in there, and you're sometimes scooping up a mixture. But even with their ammo, it still did it. Like using exclusively theirs. Because you have to do that for testing purposes. But the high rate of fire is pretty much its only advantage. It does look pretty nice. I will give them that. I kind of like the crazy, hydrofilm graphics designs. It looks kind of like graffitied hydrofilm, and I do like that because that is wording on there, much like what X-Shot's doing with the new skins line. But outside of the kind of neat appearance and the very high rate of fire, there is almost nothing else really going for this. And it's kind of a bummer. And much like the saying, between a rock and a hard place, this fell right after I just tested the SKD blasters, and the Unlock X showed up just before this did. So it was going up against some very, very stiff competition, because the Unlock X, it's literally the best gel blasters I've had the chance to put in my hands and try out. And the SKDs were very, very good. And this, according to that old saying, between a rock and a hard place, this thing's price is $50. Now, it comes in at 90 feet per second, which is the weakest of all the performance of every gel blaster I have had the chance to try. The lowest performance. So it's the lowest performing. This is the one that had the most malfunctions, because it had a number of feeding issues, not only when you started, because you had to shake it and fire it. There's that high rate of fire. You had to shake it to fire it, but even while firing, you could be sitting there and firing blanks for 5 times, 10 times, 20 times straight, because a couple seconds, you can have, 20, 30 shots that should have fired, and then finally it picks up and starts firing, and then it'll quit again. So, the most malfunctions, the lowest performance, and coming at $50. The SKD was priced at about $40. The Unlock X V2, which I literally just got done saying on the video of it, this is the best I've ever tried now, out of all the gel blasters. This is $60. This is $10 more than this. Only $10. And for the huge jump in quality, finish, ergonomics, performance, it's well worth the $10. But if you didn't want to pay the $10, the SKD blaster that I tried just a bit ago, I think a few weeks ago at this point now, the SKD is also better in every regard to this, and it's about $10 cheaper. So this sits right in the middle. More expensive than a better blaster, and barely less expensive than a much superior blaster. So I can't recommend it. I can't, especially even if I never tried the V2 or the 4-in-1 from Unlock X. The SKD is better, and it's cheaper, and it's better in every possible metric that you could ever put into a quantifiable review. Performance better, ergonomics better. I mean, this isn't bad. That's actually one of the bright spots for it. But the mag release is it's small, kind of hard to find, kind of hard to see because it's black. It's black, and it falls into a black section of the graphics, as are both the on and off switch. There's 2 on and off switches right here. One's up, vertical, and I just broke the corner off of it. I can't make that up. I just broke the corner of the switch. I can't show it to you because you can't even hardly see the switch. But more so, the corner of the switch just broke off to my fingertip. I didn't know my fingers were that tough, but obviously they are. But I mean, I can't make that up. The final nail in the coffin is that if this performed well, if everything else was fine about it, this does not feel like a $50 product. This feels like a $20 product. Maybe $25. It feels like it should be the inexpensive alternative, and it's not. It's more expensive. So I can't recommend it. And I know I'm kind of a really positive guy about a lot of things, and I tend to look for the good in something. But I just can't. I can't. I mean, what could I say positive about it when the SKD is better in every which way, every possible quantifiable metric? And then for just a little upgrade in price, you can have this. And this thing it's not even close. It really isn't. Now, I do thank Caissa Toy for sending this to me. It gave me the chance to try it out. it unfortunately just falls short in every which way, shape, and form compared to its, both more expensive or less expensive competition. So I will put the link, because you can get 15% off of the price if you do say that you want to use this. They did give me a viewer code. It's going to be here in the link. And the link will be in the description below, so is the 15% off code. If you do want to use it, that'll be there. I don't recommend doing so. I do recommend checking out the SKD or the Unlock X, which I will remember to put those here on the end screen so that you can check those out here or here. This is Monk Jake saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it.